Hey everyone, Miacidae here. Welcome back to Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. So last time we kind of started exploring the Koronus Expanse because we got access to the void travel. Needless to say, things did not go according to plan. Especially when the space combat became a thing, I started getting shredded a little bit. And then once we got in here, once we got to this disembodied, more or less, cruiser or Voidship, I decided to switch my group up a little bit, and things did not go to plan, and I got shredded, especially with the J here. Having a second strategist did not go as well as I thought it would. I tried to use her in combat, and I think it was mainly because of the deflection. She was doing a lot of little attacks that were not adding up. Things just did not go well. So I'm going to try trading her out for Argenta. I'm still going to try having Idira. I think part of the problem was I didn't have anyone for demolition. I was failing a lot of those checks and then getting a lot of stacks of things that were like making me take -10 in a lot of stats. And that just was not going well. So now we have Argenta here.
Feeling of wonder. As if a field of flowers.
We are the spearhead of the Imperium.
I'm restless.
Well, that didn't go as planned. Who can dismantle these bombs?
Never doubt me.
I'm at your service.
So yeah, now that I have 100% on those, things should go slightly better is what I'm hoping. Let's just get rid of that injury quick. I did actually figure out how to respec people, and I did respec Argenta here, just to really quick go over this, because I figured out I could, while trading in the trade screen there, get a heavy bolter. However, even with a perk, which I did take with Argenta, I couldn't equip this heavy bolter, because it requires 60 strength. And she only had 30, so I had to respec her to get a little more strength, essentially is what I did. So she has 35 strength. I'm not sure where I put that strength or where I put that point before, but that's kind of why I respec her. But now she has a heavy bolter. Technically, it does a lot less damage than her normal bolter here. You'll see that normal bolter does 9 to 14, where heavy bolter does 6 to 10 damage. The difference is, instead of doing a rate of fire of 3 with a recoil of 25, it has a rate of fire of 8 with a recoil of 40. So I'm assuming that as long as I can get that recoil down with Pascal, I can fire a lot more and do a lot more damage. So the whole last episode, or in the last half of the last episode, I should say, we went and restored power to this door. So now let's enter and see kind of what happened in here. Flesh from Temptations. Oh, lovely. Magos Tiberius Mala.
Powers unseen, uncover my path.
Hi, buddy. How ya doing? The air in the room is permeated by a wild mixture of miasmas, both mechanical and biological origin. Blood, rust, vomit, machine oil, and excrement, kerosene. All these smells blend together into such a thick stench that it almost feels palatable. Just as the air here is one mad tangle of odors, the device in front of you is a mishmash of wriggling wires, transplanted fragments. All in the clutter, one could almost miss the main component, a heavily augmented man, whose upper body is embedded into the frame of the machine, dozens of wires piercing his flesh. The crust of congealed blood and other bodily fluids covers the man's entire body, but his eyes are open, his gaze keen. The gaze is turned to you, devoid of surprise or indifference. Who are you? Disturbing the peace of holy martyrs in the home of our grief? What do you want? We have a lore check, I'm going to use that. The symbols your brethren protect themselves with are symbols of chaos. Your knowledge is lacking, invader. These are secret holy symbols imparted to us by the Omnissiah. How else would my tech comrades have survived if not for their protection? So many of us were devoured by evil. I have persuasion. We'll take that. Wake up. All the signs are clear as day. You and your brethren have fallen prey to the forces of chaos, and you don't even realize it. Succeed. Man's eyes clear for a moment. They still lack understanding, but there's a hint of surprise. He slowly looks around the room at the ecstatic priest. His own mangled body. His vox hisses as if he is struggling to say something. Suddenly, the mingled stench in the room is drowned out by sharp, piercing smell of ozone and grease. You sense that the nauseating atmosphere that prevailed in the room is condensed into a single point of evil in the depths of the ship, and is now hurtling towards you. Oh boy. What is this thing? A dog? A cyber Cerberus? Okay then.
Existence is naught but ashes.
Forge Fiend. Okay. Looks like some of the cover here can be destroyed pretty easily at that. Cassia. If I get a good angle on you from right here, I can lidless stare into them. Main character. This is going to sound stupid, but I'm going to get behind the destroyable cover. Pascal with your eagle. Let's get into the cover up there. Abelard. We want you right up front. Argenta. I hope this doesn't trigger an attack of opportunity. Get back. Idira. I want you going up here. Out of their reach. Pascal. I didn't get you. Get behind the cover right there. Oh no. I put you up there instead of Abelard. Let's go. Alright. Alright. Lidless stare with Cassia. I want to make sure I'm not hitting anyone friendly with this. But yeah, lidless stare on all of them. If I'm lucky. I got the stun on something, but I don't think so. Oh yeah, I got the stun on a Vox Skull at least. And a Servitor. Okay. We're going to set up our frontline stuff here. So Abelard, bonus to armor, and then I suppose this is plus damage on the Forge Fiend. Backline.
Me?
That'll be cover for Argenta. And then the rear. That is for the main character. Where did I pop him? Can I get you and Pascal with that? No. It's not quite long enough.
If I may.
Okay. Then, bring it down on the main character.
I'm afraid not.
Oh, he's out of range. Shoot. Second plan, Abelard.
Accustomed to being ordered around.
Charge at the Servo Skull.
At your beck and call. I took care of this one.
I was hoping that would put you in range of the Forge Fiend, and it did.
Victory is imminent.
Which he parried. Okay. Then defensive stance is a just in case. You can end your turn. Argenta. First of all, Furious Recital. This gives us momentum and zeal, and because we get zeal, she gets some stats. How does this work? Because I've never used Devastating Attack on her. I might knock someone prone. I doubt it. I'll save that for when they're not stunned. 100% chance to hit the boss. 3 AP to do so. If I could knock the boss prone, I mean, that would be great. Or I do extra damage on it. Let's do concentrated fire. With burst fire from the heavy bolter. Yeah, we're on the heavy bolter. Yeah. Burst fire, 8 shots. Let's go.
Faith without deeds.
Look at that. Oh, and then just annihilated Cassia for that. Okay, Pascal. Obstruct vision. Gonna hit the Forge Fiend. And we're gonna go right here, and hopefully he shoots one of his friendos. And then what you're gonna do I was hoping to get the dash through all of them. No, not that spot. So what if we went from here through all of them? 74% chance of hitting the servitors. We got the Forge Fiend. $19 health on the Forge Fiend. So a pistol shot would probably do the job. We're going to do Machine Spirit Communion on these two. Just to reduce recoil. I thought I had an extra AP. Is that 2 AP? It is. My bad. Oh, I knocked Abelard down pretty bad too. Block and attack back. All right. Gonna ignite the servitor.
Will do. What will unfortunate turn of fate?
And that did damage to the other two, taking out the Fiend and then doing a little damage to the Vox Skull.
That is not my destiny.
Nope, can't do that. I was hoping to up the dodge and parry on Abelard, but nope. So extra damage on the servitor. And I suppose that's what she can do. Main character. Hunt down prey. Hit servitor. We're going to pop the servitor. Yikes. Claim bounty on servitor. There we go. Then I suppose analyze on Vox Skull over there. And Abelard can charge at it and take it out. That wasn't so bad. Argenta melted that thing with the heavy bolter. Evil. That was evil incarnate. Evil, the corruption that watches us day and night. You have banished the evil. You tried to warn me, but I was deaf. The ship, Kavia Gamma. It followed us from there. Yeah, we need to go to Kavia Gamma there, then. Kavia Gamma, is that where your ship is from? Yes. The ship and the planet. The traitors among our brethren tormented the sacred mechanisms, letting corruption into their systems. They turned that which is holy into unholy, and then set these new twisted machines on us, their tech comrades. We managed to flee, but one of the monsters found its way onto the ship. We fought. We cut off one module after another as it cuts away rotting flesh. But it followed its invisible influence, the corruption it exuded. It claimed us, one by one. The crew were merely humans of flesh and blood. They were so weak. They succumbed so easily. We could not save them from evil, and so we gave the ship to darkness among the stars. But the darkness came for us too, in this last module, where we intended to make our last stand. Then I sacrificed myself. I became a filter, a stopper against the corruption emanating from the machine. I succumbed. The corruption came for our souls, the corruption of Kavia Gamma, traitors, the fabricator censor. It all started with him. He was the one who let this taint into the sacred code. He was the one who doomed our brethren. He was the one who spawned steel monstrosities in the furnace of our planet. Rest in peace, Magos, rest in peace. I was part of a great force that drives the universe. I do not fear the cold of death. Poor guy. Alright, let's see what we get here. Diagnoster. Grants 15 Medicaid. That could be useful. And a cape. For heretical, I don't have anyone that's heretical. This is a bad part there, but that's not to say I'm not going to find anyone. Then there's the tech priests that have that 30 armor. Oh, wait a minute. If the armor is 30%, why does it only reduce 15% of damage when the armor on the flak chest plate is 20% and reduces armor by damage by 25%? Isn't 30% higher? Either way, someone needs that. Oh wait, I have the spinner's chest plate. Whoopsies. Same with those. Those can go to cargo. Is there anything on the dog? No, but there's goods over here. Let's check those out. Headhunter light carapace, 30% armor, base armor plus 8 dodge. That could be helpful, along with unholy amulets and dark halo. Who has that warp?
The whispers told me how.
The shell of a demon engine. It was this creation, a horrifying mix of real space technologies and the deranged powers of the warp, that disrupted the ship's engines and twisted the tech priest's mind. Okay. I don't suppose we're getting loot off of him. Well, that seems to be it, but that was kind of cool. Can heal the one injury we have by going back to the ship. I thought we were supposed to get like a tithe ship by going here was the big thing. And I suppose we didn't find it. So I went to both spaces in this little area. That I was supposed to. Wait, there's 2 drifting void ships? Am I blind? Drifting void ship? Where's the other drifting void ship? Okay, companion quest. Oh, good thing I looked here. A critical task. One of the ship's fuel levers in is a poor state. Inspect it and diagnose the problem. I think I need to do that. But that wasn't what I was looking for. Oh, I have these contract thingies. I never looked at these before. Lord Inquisitor's servants have banged top plasteel and transporting it to an unknown location. I have plasteel. This gives me plus profit factor. And I do not have promethium. Gotcha. So that's how I get more profit factor. But seriously, I cannot find the thing I wanted here. Is there failed quests? Other quests? No. I wish there was a search function for keywords, because it's not here anymore. Interesting. Well, let's check out that fuel thing. Was that the ship that that can't have been the ship that Solomon was looking for. So critical tasks. One of the ship's fuel levers is in poor state. Where would I even go for that? Master Helmsman? Yeah. Ravor, it's come to my attention that a fuel lever on the bridge may be defective. Can you be trusted? Take my leave. Fuel lever. Where's the fuel lever? Heinrich? Well, Cassie is on the bridge. That's good to see. Boxmaster, do you know where this thing is? I do not have enough fellowship for that. I guess I just have to go berate him. Hey, Ravor. What happened to the fuel lever? I most definitely can, Captain. Technomats will inspect the equipment immediately. I will also deal with those in charge without delay. Is that it for the quest, then? Kinda wish if it was gonna give me a, like, quote-unquote critical mission like that. It was more of a to-do, rather than go talk to a random person, and then it was over. But now that I have a bit more profit factor, can I get anything of use? Not really. I need 28 for the mobile extractiums. Suppose the medkits might be of use. If I got this to level 1, it might be useful. You'd think the Casabella would like the... or the Explorers, maybe, would like the Mechanist creations more, but no, they don't. Huh. Fellowship of the Void, do you like those? And the Navy. Well, maybe I just hold on to stuff for now. There's probably more traders out there. I just feel very weird because I thought I was supposed to come here for the, like, tithe ship thing. And I don't see tithe ship. Chart new. Oh, I can't get to... Chart course is deadly. So I suppose I have to go to... either Furibundus or... Tinidos. Let's make it safe. Permission to report, Lord Captain. I keep receiving messages about strange behaviors in certain ship systems. All deck report uncontrollable lock opening and closing of doors, gates, and airlocks. They behave erratically and do not obey the operative's commands. Regrettably, this has led to casualties among the crew. The tech priests explain these phenomena are being caused by machine spirits' irascibility and have spent hours chanting litanies to soothe their anger. Unfortunately, many crew members were badly injured before prayers could stabilize the systems. Lord Captain, I have done as many commanded. Everything has been prepared for your ritual as for Mistress Cabela. A few upper deck officers are ready to leave their posts to attend this formal gathering and praise your lordship's name. We can begin at your convenience. I doubt Cabela will enjoy this, but we'll do what we can do. I am confident that she will appreciate the effort, both yours and mine. What could be more representative of Lord Captain's inner circle than a formal event in the company of the most eminent members of the crew? Let's do this. It's not what I had wanted to arrange, but let's do this. It will be done. I shall signal my servants and notify the invited parties immediately. Let us demonstrate to Mistress Cabela just how strong our visceral spirit of camaraderie truly is. Let's do this. Hey, Cabela. You're up here, I think.
Domain.
Oh, there's not the thing here. Maybe I have to talk to, Janus? Or Generous? I don't see it with him either. Maybe I'm just blind, though. Ritual of the upper decks. Everything... Oh, I just have to go to the officer's deck, maybe. Officer's deck. What could go wrong? She's gonna hate this. She's gonna hate this. She showed me some battle ritual where she, combined her mind with mine or something. And I'm bringing her to some prissy party that even I don't want to attend. I really don't... I hate these parties so much. Cabela stands out clearly from the officers in attendance, both for her favoring the full regalia of a member of the Bloodspun Web over formal attire, and for the empty space around her. Yes, everyone is keeping a very clear distance. The other attendees are keeping their distance, as if air of mortal danger repels them from your companion. Your lordship. Danrock, whose keen worried gaze is locked on Cabela, whose mouth is stretched in the utmost of courteous smiles, gives you a hurried bow. Doman, you are here. She sounds neither excited nor sullen. Her tone is indifferent. As for her fear from metal claws, clutch a slice of fruit from one of the plates. How are you? I feel wrong. Strange people, strange sounds and gestures. Cabela lets out a sharp breath. Her gaze becomes vacant, and her hand reaches for the table knife. I am losing myself in this whirlpool. Grasping the knife, she begins to carve lines right through the expensive wooden tabletop. A nervous murmur runs through the crowd. Their tense gaze are locked on the harmless-looking, barely sharpened metal utensil in the hand of the cultists of the Bloodspun Web. I see you've already mastered the art of commanding attention. You seem to be quite in your element. I suppose that's true, Doman. I will not fluster your subjects further. Whenever I lose my thread, whenever I am forced astray by the outside world, I return to the labyrinth. It has all the answers. My meditation helps. In finding my way out, I regain myself and praise the righteousness of serving the Undying One. I see you've found something to your liking. She smiles. Food like this is impossible to come by in the lower bays. I do not know what this is, but it tastes incredible. Juice is dripping down her finger and hand. Seems that she is the only one here who has not lost her appetite. The officers' faces have turned pale, alarmed masks, and none of them is in a hurry to enjoy the feast. How do you like the... I wouldn't even call this a ceremony, but how do you like it up here? I am attempting to peer through the florid shell to the core, yet it continues to elude me. What is the purpose of this ritual? Explain it to me. Camaraderie. Spending all your joys and toil can be dreary. Dreary is serving one's thread not the greatest joy there is. You of all people should know this. I am too conspicuous besides the rest of your servants. A fitting mask, that is what's required for a ritual like this. I came unprepared. It will not happen again. Come to think of it, her portrait changed again, didn't it? Because she has this mask on her now, and then she doesn't have that, or this breastplate looking thing, or these red tubes when she's Like, this was when we first met her, and then she doesn't have that normally. I sense this gathering was a terrible mistake. Danrock sighs heavily and looks down. Why, you have looked behind a curtain at my existence, and now I have looked at yours. Do not think we have all heard the words that should have been spoken here today. Is it because you do not wish to say them in front of witnesses? You know, I grow weary of the crowd. Take a walk with me. Cabela avoids your gaze as two of you walk away from the other guest. She seems calm, but the slightest tremble running down her right hand betrays her agitation. Once you are alone, she walks at you. I know that you were calling it a ritual was a ruse. The true rituals are constant, immutable, like cycles of the cooling machines in the ship's bowels or the shifting of the bay's servants. That was spontaneous. Something you prepared for me and then just stayed by my side the entire time. Now you're here, granting me another request. Why is that? Technically, I did actually want to show you a ritual. It was just told to me that you could not come. Because, it could throw the entire ship into the war forever. Or some such like that. But see what I mean about the mask thing? Her portrait did change drastically. She no longer has that eye thing on her. Oh, you can get a full portrait of her if you do that eye. That is interesting. Nonetheless. I feel like either 1 or 5 would be the best here. What do you mean, why? Or I want to show you that there are other things besides service and duty, but I feel like 5 to her especially would be a slap in the face. So what do you mean, why? There's no place for idle benevolence, neither along your thread nor along mine. Yet you offer me attention and privileges that are both undeserved and unnecessary. Why? You know, let's go out on a limb here. You are my instrument and my blade, one that we are to maintain, and if you are happy, a happy blade does better, right? Just like a sharpened blade, right? Ha 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 ha! I seriously went on a limb and hoping that she would take it that way. You wanted to sharpen me. You were wise. Now that I have studied your world, I can excel as your protector, your servant. Thank you for gifting me this clarity. Oh, she bought my bullshit excuse. She bought the bullshit excuse. I have seen enough to understand what masks and gestures his servants use around you. That is enough. Let us return to our respective threads and aspire to give all to the Undying One, now and forever. Oh, she bought it. She bought it. Now I can go back to being confused elsewhere. Okay. So... I want to see something here. Sourback, Cognitor, Koronus Map, Vigdis, Einrich, Ravtor. None of them are the person I wanted to talk to. And I'd really like to get up to the Koronus system up here. But I have a feeling what I need to do is just keep going one by one here, but maybe these will be a bunch of nothings. Maybe they're a little something in each system. So pirates. We're right here. Or unknown ships, I should say. Let's deal with the unknown ships here first. Iconoclast class destroyer. That does not sound good, whatever. What is that? Gaston Clus. There's only 2 of them, but they're... 3 of them, my bad, but they're destroyers. Well, I can hit this one a bunch. Well, maybe not a bunch, but... starboard cannons at it. And I can shoot the missiles right here. If I turn this way, I can get... my Mazoa Lance right here. And my macro is facing the wrong way. I'm going to restart my shields already. And looks like we need to go to, like, right here. I think I forgot to put any extra stuff on. Oh, hell. We'll see where these plasma torpedoes can land me. I was hoping maybe they'd fire at the torpedoes, but... save me a few shots. I'm already screwed. Well, let's take out this destroyer. Shoot a little bit at this destroyer to our right and use all of our cannons available to us. That's going to be one down. I'm not sure what this dust cloud does, but I'm kind of banking on it doing something for me. And turn these around and flip into one of them, maybe. Yeah, I got wrecked right off the bat. Well, maybe that bought me some time. Let's see here. Torpedoes flip around. Maybe next turn I hit one of them. If I get one. Alright. So, this one is more injured. But I have a feeling I can rip through this destroyer more with my weapons. That was a big if. Okay, what does this actually do for me? Aiming and firing capabilities can reduced. Conceals vessel's position, making it more difficult for enemies to hit vessel. Specifically, the rogue trader's speed is reduced. Evasion plus 30, maneuverability minus 1, speed minus 30, hit chance minus 20. Ooh. Well, we're doing what we can here, but... oh, they missed a lot there. Okay. No. Well, let's try this again. Yeah, they started off really strong there. I need to get better stuff on my ship and fast. I want to try something kind of stupid. So first of all, Dorsal cannons hit destroyer. Or not. Go forward by 1. Starboard cannons hit destroyer. I'm gonna drop off the... Nope. Gonna drop off the plasma tubes right there. I'm gonna go right here. I can go 3 more, right? Okay. Oh, I was hoping I was gonna be able to hit them. I shouldn't have gone as far. Okay. Well, I go 1 more, 2 more. I hit them with my port side cannon. You'd think I'd do more since I was point blanking them. And we're gonna restart our shields. Since the Iconoclast destroyer right here has to go straight, I'm hoping that these plasma torpedoes can just ram right into them. Oh, they were smart. Not sure about this one, though. I kind of got them where I want them. So dorsal at this destroyer. What's up with all these misses? So if I go straight, I can hit them with the starboard. So many misses. And I can ram them, which I've never done before. They go boom. And missiles flip around. Or torpedoes. Kind of interesting that they can maneuver like that and I can't. I suppose maybe I can do a 180. I've never actually tried to do that. But I'm gonna go down this hit. Yeah. This is a little ridiculous. Okay. Let's try a few things here again. I can get this. This is just a little ridiculous. I can't do a 180 flip. Or I can't. Flagship flies in a straight line, making a full U-turn at the end of its movement. Okay. I can't do that. It just has a very long cooldown. So... let's see what I can do here. I have a starboard cannon that can go at this guy. If I do this movement, I can hit this destroyer up front. I'm going to do that with our laser that I am kind of not liking. Then we hit them with the dorsal cannon. And then if we... before we do anything, I'm going to put the tubes right here. And then we're going to flip around and port side them. I was really hoping to get them down, but they have 3 health left. I'm just severely outclassed here. What might be able to happen is these plasma torpedoes run around and hit the destroyer on the other side of me. Is that already game over? Jeez. See how fast they tear me apart? I think after this, I'm going to try to get a few upgrades. I think I have a few, actually. I just never put them on, is my problem. At least that one didn't shoot at me this time. That's a little bit of good RNG. Oh, I was gonna say, if he stops right there, I'm actually at a good spot. We got a few shots at him. If I go forward by one, I can fire my starboard at him. Get the torps at him. Then fire the laser at this destroyer. And then we go right here. I can fire the port side cannons at the destroyer I just finished the other one at, and that's great. I'm not even going to bother restarting the shields. At least they're firing at the torps. I think I'm a little screwed there. Let's see here. I think I can... I want to see something here. Can I see this thing's movement? Please? No, it's not going to let me. But I'm pretty sure I can go like here and then scoot around and hit that destroyer. So what I'm gonna try to do here is hit you with my starboard cannons. And then I can hit with my dorsal cannons. What I'm not sure about is... I'm right here. Can I hit... Actually, we might be able to take him out with my port side cannons. And once we're here, let's take the slightly hurt one out with the dorsal cannons. Go up a bit, hit with starboard cannons. There we go. Flip around, restart shields. So that may actually help me against the one enemy. And they're pointed going... Which direction? I think they're going up here, so I'm going to flip around this way. I could be very... Oh no, I'm wrong. They're going this way. Oh well. Well, I'm gonna get kind of pointed to where I think they're heading with these torps. Go this direction with the Patient Fortune. I can drop more torps. And they're probably screwed if they don't get me. How's that one? Oh boy, that was bad. I need to upgrade this. We got a really good cannon. Short range broadside macro cannon just fire 4 shots, same amount, but 7 more damage per shot, so that's 28 more total damage. I got more unholy amulets and 48 scraps, which I need to repair. So we are going to do some ship stuff here. Repair. Somehow I only took 50. Okay. Voidship management. So I can upgrade my hull. I can upgrade my RAM. I'm not sure what upgrading my hull does. Oh, it gave me a little bit more actual health there. I'm going to upgrade my starboard. I was hoping to upgrade the dorsal, actually. Hull. Or the cannon there, but that's the wrong cannon type, evidently. So we're going to go with the starboard hull. I can develop stuff for my cannon. I guess this is more like leveling it up. I like new heading. So this will let me move at 90 degrees instead of 45-degree turn, just so I have the ability to maneuver a little bit better. Maneuverability seems to be a big part for me. And I get another ability. We'll take Warp Weave, so I can immediately move in enemy ships from 45 to or 90 degrees, depending upon their maneuverability. If the enemy ship has already suffered hull damage, this causes them more hull damage, so that sounds kind of good. Someone had parts on that I could buy for this. I'm gonna go get those because that was rough. That was really rough, and I don't want them to be that rough. I believe it was the Casabella. No, Imperial Navy. 45 to 55. I don't believe any of those are upgrades, but it's this at rank 1 I start getting an upgrade, and I can get stuff up to this torpedo tube upgrade. That's actually not an upgrade, okay. But regardless, I can get a few like hull upgrades and stuff, so I stop taking as much damage. They like heretic upgrades, or heretic trophies. They like the Void Pirate stuff. So I'm going to give that to them. That should get me to rank 1. That should get me everything but these. Why can't I get the scrap box? It's kind of interesting that it only needs... my reputation is too low. Yeah, I'm rank 1 where it says I need rank 1. That's kind of weird. But anyway, that's a few extra parts for me. That is going to help along the way. So... Voidship management again. Oh, I can replace the torpedo tubes, actually. That might be a better bet. I know the torpedoes, when they hit, they do a lot of damage, but they take a lot for me to hit with them, so for now I'm going to replace them. And this is actually what I wanted. So the military ceramite voidship plating. Because negating 5 points of damage on each side, I know it's not much, but when I'm taking that many hits a fight, it's 1 more point of damage per hit I take. And I thought this was actually better, but I take 70 instead of 80 points of protection, but this is doubled against blast attacks. I'm not sure what is necessarily a blast attack, but it might pay off. We'll see. Oh, and I could put people at posts. This actually could help out. Okay. The warp channeler could be Idira. See, I'm not sure if it never told me about this, or I just had to find it myself, but, like, it would have been nice if it would have told me that, hey, I can put people in these posts and get some, like, additional effects. So torpedo control, or reloads all macrofight cannons that were fired during the acceleration phase. I think I'd rather have that. Shield Master. Or do people's stats actually matter for this? Supreme Commander. So, it says I can upgrade the ability from Swing Run to use the ability once and hull integrity, no damage, huh? Idira here. Probably for the warp because looks like she has a... Oh, that's persuasion there, really? Okay, for warp channeler. Master of Etherics. That's awareness, so that's probably me. Post analyzes the ship's auger and vox systems, aware of watchful traces for warp. But if I put someone else there, I get... Looks like maybe I get arcaugery or whatever. I don't know. Like, I'm not sure how that technically works. Do they have synergies with this is more what it's thinking, maybe? A skill required Warlorp, Persuasion, Demolition, Tech Use, Athletics for Master Maneuvers. So I think I have the right people in the right jobs. It's just I'm not sure what the ability down here kind of does. And I wish it would tell me more about that. Because, like, I know I had torpedo control before. So if I put... I have her, and it says she has expeditious reload. So would I get that now? I don't know. We'll see. We have a little bit more scrap. So I know I probably shouldn't be upgrading this too much because I want to keep that scrap. But let's upgrade the hull a bit more so I have a bit more health. Only upgraded it to 168. And then let's go take care of that other ship thing and see if that helps at all. And then we can visit the planets. Hopefully not flying too close to the sun there.
Stars tremble.
Eldari Shadow Hunter.
Awakens.
That's not good. Only have torpedoes. So there's 3 of them. No, there's only 2 of them, but they have torpedoes. Okay. So I think I need to get rid of the torpedoes first.
Let the incandescent beams scorch our enemies.
Well, that didn't work out very well. I need to go forward a little bit more. But then I can use the macro I can't use the macro cannons because the torpedoes are right there. Starboard would be able to hit those neutron torpedoes. Dorsal would be able to hit over there. Macro battery would be able to hit anything. Okay. Let's try a few things out here. So yeah, I'll go here. I'm probably gonna get hit by these torpedoes. Gonna hit. Oh really, is that all it's gonna do? I was hoping to be able to hit the Shadow Hunter there. Dorsal at the Eldari Shadow Hunter here.
Let destruction pour forth.
I thought I would be firing both, but I guess not. Can I not fire both of these at... Okay. And maybe taking out some of these torpedoes. And we'll see what happens. Ouchie. Okay, I go again. I'd like to fry the Eldari right here.
Send them into the cold
If I fire one of those, I can't fire the other lance. Okay, so that was a huge mistake. I'm gonna go forward a bit so I can fire the starboard at the other Eldari.
Micro cannons, annihilate them.
Dorsals at... No, we're gonna ram. Oh, we can't ram anymore? Well, dorsal.
Destruction for.
Total miss with that. We're going to try to take out some more of these torpedoes. And that's going to be that. I could have hit them with the port side, I guess. And move on around. And can I flip you around and destroy you, I guess? Okay, cool. Which also got their cannon. New heading. Next time I turn, I can turn a little bit more. And then we're going to go straight into the Shadow Hunter. Maybe I don't have to deal with that. Okay, so if I go here... Those don't hit, those don't hit. If I go here... Not enough range. And if I go here... Not enough range. Gotcha. Okay.
Let the Imperium guide us.
But we can use Warp Weave. Turn. Take damage. Not much, but it still takes damage. And now it messes them all up. Because they had to turn more to get to me. Not sure what they just did. If I go right here, I can hit them with the prow weapon. I'm just going to go all in on the Eldari there. Yikes. Dorsal shot, go.
Unleash our wrath upon my enemies.
Then if I go, say, right here, I can hit them with the port side cannon.
Micro cannons, annihilate them.
And it looks like we got him. We did take a little bit of a hit there, but that wasn't as bad.
Again.
Void Eldari trophies. A little bit of scrap. Can repair ourselves. That's cool. For once, we got more scrap than we needed to repair. So good thing I figured out about that prow thing, and we're going to toss one of these torpedoes back on, because turns out you can't use both of the lasers in one turn. Let's go to a planet. Scan it. Not explored Monastery of the Order of the Hammer. Lord Captain, we have received a transmission from Foulstone. It was sent by members of the Order of the Hammer, votaries of Saint Cognitus, whose monastery is the only settlement on this planet. Or rather, it used to be. Some time ago, a transport vessel, the Navica, unloaded several thousand refugees from a planet belonging to road trader Winterskill. The Order of the Hammer has judged this invasion to be an act of aggression and is asking your lordship for protection. Well, we will not abandon people of faith in distress. We're landing. We'll take care of this. Oh, another book thing. 11 days after the passing of the feast of Nicodemus Keefe, the champion of faith, Disquietus marred the claim of the monastery of the Order of the Hammer. Countless tortured souls steeped in fear arrived on Fallstone in a star bark. A great apostasy had befallen their home and turned them into abject wanderers seeking help and refuge. Their wicked, cruel captain, the owner of the Navica, had betrayed them. Once the unknowing souls in his care had made landfall on the world's surface, he most deviously recalled the shuttles and left, thus ridding himself of his duty of care of the unfortunate lot. Not knowing how they would survive in Foulstone's great wastelands, the Forsaken people came to the monastery of St. Cognitus, where they surrounded its walls. They hammered their fists into its gate, implored and wailed, "Take us in, protect us." In what was once a place of serenity and grace was now in din, disorder, and manner of all things despicable. The interlopers brought with them worldly futility and strife, and mayhap the seeds of alluring blasphemies if fiendly heathens lurked in their midst. After prayer, the prelate Hecarius turned his eye to the past in search of instruction, and he recalled the first missionaries set foot on Foulstone's vast wayland, led by their zeal for serving St. Cognitus. And those missionaries had received a blessing of Nicomedes Keefe, the champion of the faith, who had traveled with them in their star bark and found this place a humble and pure abode wherein to cultivate wisdom and piety. And St. Cognitus, a man of great endeavors, a warrior and great artificer, never cowered behind the walls of a librarium, but stepped bravely into darkness, carrying the light in palm of his hand, and commanded others to do the same. Not only Foulstone, but many other worlds of Koronus Expanse bear its imprint, and prelate Hecarius did welcome the interlopers warmly as his guests, but he did warn his brethren to keep their vigilance. The brethren and sisters of the Order of the Hammer came forth to meet the strangers, carrying water and protein vectils and medicinal herbs and jugs of promethium. But the crowd came to blows over viands, and blood was spit, and many trampled or mauled in the stampede, some of them dwellers of the monastery, and the warriors of the Order of the Hammer donned their flak cowls, inscribed words of praise to the God Emperor on their tactical visors, and went forth, ready to render service in battle. With lasguns and bolters they pierced the interlopers. With their chainswords and power flails they struck them, and great and bloody harvests were reaped that day. The interlopers too, scant in their armaments and scanter their skills in battle, slew many of the monastery's dwellers, for great were their number and greater were their desperation. The monks fled beyond their walls, and rang the vox alarum, shut the gate, and commanded the guards to keep watch over the gate, slaying any who approached. Oh, this is gonna be a thing. A quarrel broke out. The sick and hungry lay the siege to the monastery, begging for help. In their spite, they blocked the water collector and unpowered the generatorium. The faithful, in the meantime, made ready to resist, and a miracle came to pass. The God Emperor. If I take the interlopers into my care, they're no longer on the planet, right? So extended a veil of protection over the interlopers, taking them into his care, and thereby Foulstone with them. I feel bad about the guys in the vault, but if I take the interlopers on my ship, they're no longer the problem, right? That's how I read this. Humbly, the Order of the Hammer heeded the God Emperor's confident, and unsealed the airlocks, and opened the gate of its abode, brought forth gifts of virtue and relief for the suffering of the ill-stricken. After a prayer, the architects set to work, in accordance with the saint's teachings and the parameters set forth of the standard template construct. They erected spacious living quarters and sturdy fort walls for the planetary militia, and a spacious auditorium where to trade and store goods, and a proud sensorium, within whose walls clerics and servo bondsmen would maintain order and keep statistical records. And a new, yet righteous way of life came to Foulstone, and the people rejoiced, and all was good. See, we're fine. Wait, I can do stuff here? A lot of stuff here, it looks like. Colony management. You can now manage your colonies remotely using the colony management screen. The privilege of becoming Foulstone's patron is a tempting prospect for many. However, with the rogue trader's assistance, the Order of the Hammer will be able to retain ultimate authority over the world. Oh, I see how this works. So depending upon how I do this, it blocks projects, like eventually potentially one project can go through and other two are blocked off. I get a lot of Holy Relic type, or like efficiencies, and possibly trade goods, or just straight up items and the ability to trade with people like the Darusians here. Hammer of the Epiphany, which, let's see here, all damage dealt with this weapon pushes an enemy is increased. Nah. And then this would get all just a straight up like talent, which is all allies increased wounds by lore plus lore Imperium divided by 15. I don't have that, but also get me 2 profit factor and complacency. All affects all amount of profit factor produced by a colony and speeds project of colony and decreasing them. So I mean, this could be a lot more profit factor for getting the Celestial Protector, but I think I want the Celestial Protector for the profit factor and the complacency. I don't really care about the Benevolent Protection. It's a little bit of extra wounds, but it's not much. Actually, I get the High Throne feature, which I didn't look at before. So I'd get plus 5% critical hit chance against Chaos enemies, which is nice. I doubt I'm going to get the much of a bonus otherwise from any of these, so I'll just go with High Throne and get Emperor's Retribution. A lot of stuff just got blocked off, but we'll see what happens there. I'm not sure what happens with the world from here. I think we have to, like, wait for it to go. And wait for the High Throne to be finished. We'll see. And go from there. And we'll do one more world here. Not sure this is a magma world. No, and maybe a little bit of magma, but a lot of ash here. There's nothing. Burning world, okay. Actually, didn't think that was going to be a burning world. One more world with stuff on it. Nothing here either. Didn't even need to use the Extractium. Desert world. I mean, I can get plasteel. Natural accumulation. I mean, I need plasteel for stuff. There was a trade I needed to set up to get plasteel, so we can grab that. A natural accumulation of irregularities on a solid planet surface has been detected, probably the occurrence of natural resources. High. Okay. Well, I suppose that's kind of it for this area. Then we can kind of go into whatever the next area is in the next episode. Be that whatever it may. The problem I have here is I can go to Janus right now, but I actually would rather not. Oh, I can actually go back to the Anver stuff, huh? So I'm trying to make my way up to Kavia Gamma. But right now I could go to Janus. But if I just keep making my way up to Kavia Gamma, I think that's a better bet. Because that's the one in more trouble, and I think that's going to be the what the timer is based on, is doing this rather than random stuff in the meantime. So I'm going to work my way up towards Kavia Gamma rather than going to Footfall here. So I think we'll do this, then we'll go to whatever the Speculo system is and just keep going that way. Then work our way over towards the Mundus system and keep going there. I do want to hit like all of this just because I can, but that'll be a thing for the future and we can go from there. But I suppose that'll be it for this time. We'll keep exploring the systems in the future and make our way towards Kavia Gamma. And yeah, so that'll be it for this time. Like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz. And otherwise, as always, I wish you all well. I will see you next time. And please, have a good one.